pull it away from your eye, depending on where you on how you sit. But we're not here to talk about that. What we're here to talk about is Line Gear Solutions have sent me a couple of their new mounts.
Okay.
So these are adaptations from stuff they already had. We've got the M.A.C.H.O.S, which is something like the military army combat helmet optical system.
Also says you're really tough.
This is really tough. And I've got this is brand new, this is an exclusive for the channel. This is the new fast mount.
Cool. And we're looking at dual mounts, both
so
of them.
both of these are dual mounts, but you can quite happily run one SiOnyx off either. So let's look at the M.A.C.H.O.S first. And it's quite interesting. He first put these out in rapid prototypes at a rapid prototype polymer. These both
3D printed.
So these both actually share a common central unit.
Yeah, I can see that.
So you can see that, Gadge. Yeah, and then the arms that go either side of that central unit are different. So on the M.A.C.H.O.S, what he's done is he's put a hinge on.
Nice.
Yeah,
so you can just swing them out the way.
Swing them out the way. It can be a little bit stiff, but
if it
was floppy, it'd be a real problem. So that goes nicely onto my mount. So you can have them here. You can, if you need to get them out of the way, you can get your Auroras out of the way. If you've got them down, particularly if you're running duals, and so you can run dual SiOnyx on this, and you want an eye free to actually look at the ambient stuff. You can just put it to one side or put it up. So that's these are really nice. All the fasteners and everything else are really good quality. So these are absolutely fantastic solution if you want to do that sort of thing. And again, something else I'm going to talk about, which has come subsequent, because the first one we had was that rapid prototype Hyperion, which had a rapid prototype mount,
which is going to wear
dovetail
over time.
Mount. It's going to wear over time. What he's doing now is he's got a engineering firm to create some locally these mounts.
That's steel, is it?
It's out of aluminium, but it's a very high grade heat treated aluminium, and it's very nice fit.
Satisfying click there.
Yeah,
when you put it in, it's all about the click.
Very satisfying fit. A lot better than some of the repros as well.
Yeah.
But obviously this is a repro of a Wilcox horseshoe, but really solid mount. I've got no queries with that whatsoever. These mounts are very hard to get in Europe.
Right. Okay.
So even if you're not using a SiOnyx and you need a dovetail mount, Line Gear Solutions. They're very. I tried to find one. It's virtually. I think they're pretty much ITAR restricted.
Right. It's amazing how much is these days. Balaclava. Can't have that, mate.
This Arc'teryx Leaf Balaclava is export restricted.
It's of interest to terrorists.
So these are absolutely fantastic. So they're really interesting. The fast mount's really cool. So again, the fast mount he's done before. Again, but that was in a rapid prototype.
Okay.
And he's now using the two separate arms, also machined out of aluminium. I'll just give Gadge the quality of the construction.
That's nicely finished, that, isn't it?
Yeah, feels like a really professional product.
Yeah, there's not even a mark on that, is it? It's just.
So the M.A.C.H.O.S is done with because these need to lie flush against the top surface in order to fold. They're done with an Allen key. But he has done these. So these bolts are captive. So that's
they're not going anywhere.
They're not going anywhere, which is a really nice touch.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than losing a screw or a bolt, especially if you're in a game or in a.
And in the fast mount, mount is the fast mount because let's get the orientation right. So you've got this is actually a standard tripod screw.
Yeah. It's
very common PVS 14s.
And then like a retaining stud
and
behind
that's the stud, which then locks into the stud on there. I'll give you guys a nice close up whilst I'm doing this.
So you just flip that up and you can actually do it without a screwdriver.
You just screw it on.
That is absolutely ingenious.
Again, that's a captive nut he's made. It's slotted, so you can tighten it right down if you need to, but it's pretty much firm enough with this on.
That is
flip
absolutely
it down, and then you've got one of the things we should talk about. Both of these is that the pupillary distance. That's distance between your eye pupils differs from person to person, and it's something that can affect night vision users. So you need some form of adjustment. So the fast mount has these. Again, fast mount, because it doesn't have to flip. It's got a few more options, and it's got these nice 3D printed mounts which change the pupillary distance, and you can adjust those independently. So you've seen how fast I've been able to mount this and change the distance. Once you've set your distance, these put grub screws on top onto the runners. So once you set your distance, you can just come in, nip that up, and that locks it up. And it's the same on the M.A.C.H.O.S mount as well. You also got the grub screw mount.
Very nice.
And that goes on. So you can't fold these out of the way, but it's a really nice mount. And as I said, both these arms, so the centre body on both of these is the same unit, and you can change the arms out.
Right.
Something he's also going to be doing is bringing out mounts for not just SiOnyx's. I've just been testing something really cool from Line Gear Solutions, and that's their new FLIR Mini Rail mount. So this is Gadge's Sirius Gen 2 Plus night vision, mounted onto an LGS M.A.C.H.O.S mount. On this side we've got their new Line Gear Solutions FLIR Mini Rail mount. Doesn't even have a name just yet. We've been trying this. Seems really robust, really simple to put on. Gives you that flip capability on your night vision. Mounts very securely to the mini rail, which is here and here on many FLIR devices. So this will also fit onto the FLIR Breach and the FLIR MNVDs. I'll show you how to fit it in just a minute. So these are going live, I believe, this weekend on Line Gear Solutions website. I really like this. It's rapid prototyped, high quality steel screws. The interference between the mount and the night vision goggle is really nice. Gives you good lock up. This one I've got on, say, on a M.A.C.H.O.S with the Line Gear Solutions dovetail mount. So this whole thing mounts really nicely onto my Wilcox arm, locks up really securely. As I say, it gives me the flip to side capability. I've got a spare arm on this side, so I could either run, potentially, if I ever get around to buying another Sirius or an MMVD or a Breach, could run the same mount on this side, or I could run something like a SiOnyx Aurora on that arm for a bit of recording as well. So have a look at Line Gear Solutions. If you run a FLIR device, you might find this suits you really well, and straight away I'll just show you how to fit it. Super easy. This is the LGS M.A.C.H.O.S with a FLIR Sirius on. Okay, so this is what you'll get. So this is the FLIR Mini Rail arm itself. It's a nice rapid prototype part. 2 screws or bolts and a square nut. So these need to come out. Put them down. Don't lose this, quite important. And there's a nice steel captive nut inside the rapid prototype, so you're not screwing directly into a rapid prototype. So in this case I'm going to take my SiOnyx arm off. So to do that, and then the SiOnyx mount plate just drops off. Then you can just slide on the FLIR Mini Rail. One screw goes down, mounts it onto the arm itself. Don't go too mad, but you can get that nice and tight. That's really rigid. So the next thing to do is to prepare your night vision device. Put the square nut diagonally in the center slot in the mini rail. Line them up nicely. It will just slide on. Have a look through the top, and you'll be able to see when it should stop just in place. Drop the other mount screw in. Okay, don't go too crazy with tightening it. And there you go, super easy to install. So there is a left and a right mount. Just pick the one that's suitable for you, or mount both. It would be really cool. It'd be nice to have a non-military source for high quality mounts, because getting this stuff
harder and harder now.
It's harder and harder. It's really quite difficult to have something readily available. Is great. So I'll show you some close-ups of those. I've got a few other bits from Lucien on my SiOnyx at the moment. So I've got his ASPIS front lens protector.
Okay.
So this is a Gen 2. The first one had some problems with, not here, but so this is made out of a slightly softer rapid prototype polymer.
So it's less resistant to a crack from a
yeah,
BB strike.
So it's going to take a few more hits. The lens is better mounted in, the front lens is better mounted inside the, it's very good, actually, it's quite difficult to get polycarbonate of that optical quality.
Good clarity there, isn't
yeah,
it?
it's pretty good.
Even at an angle, you're not getting
and the other thing
much reflection, really.
So there's definitely a better solution. He's also put a double ridge on, so you can locate that with a focusing dot on the Aurora.
Okay, so you know it's always at the same point.
So you know that, so you can focus on that double ridge, which is really nice. I've also got on the other end, this is a crash hat.
Okay, is that for bumping it backwards?
So again, this is if you've got your things stowed up, you could take a BB strike on the back lens.
Yeah. Funny enough, Tom, I actually put sacrificial lenses in the back of these as well for that very purpose. So if it's flipped on top of my head,
so again, this has a. So you take the eyepiece off the SiOnyx, which has the benefit of helping the field of view slightly as well. You can get more. You can see the screen from a wider directions. Yeah. The other thing it does, if you don't mind, if you can pop your eye cup off the back of that.
Not a problem.
Sirius, just the rubber section.
Again, there is a sacrificial lens mounted there.
So when we tested the SiOnyx originally, if you remember, we had a lot of eye scatter.
Yeah.
There was a lot. So what he's also done is, as well as this providing
there's a lip I can see there, isn't there, that looks like it might want to take a cup. Okay, so that literally took you a minute to fit on there.
So after a brief wrestle, I've got only because it's just stretching it over. So that eye cup is now on the back of that SiOnyx unit,
which was one of our major bugbears when we tested it, was the splash on your face.
So so that's going to make a big difference. The splash was a real problem. You could see it from a long way away. So the IR signature of the SiOnyx can be really quite high,
and that's a really good fix.
Lucien has a link. He doesn't sell the eye cups themselves. Again, these can be quite difficult to purchase, but he has found a European retailer that is doing them. If you live in Europe, these can be a bit tricky. If you live in America, these are absolute piece of piss to find. But there you go. So you've taken a civilian night vision device, put lenses on, put an eye cup on, mounted it onto a really solid, lovely bit of kit. So they have their limitations. They don't have the field of view that a Gen 2 unit does. So they're not as good. But it's getting to a price.
But they can still record.
They can record.
Exactly,
they can record,
which is a real big boon for a lot of players who want to track their gaming. And
that's why I got it. It's so I can film in low light for the channel. But in emergency, or if I need to go to a night game, I've got something I can actually use without spending significantly more. So that's Line Gear Solutions, MACHOS, and fast mounts, all in really nicely anodised in machine aluminium, as well as the ASPIS front lens protector, crash hat back lens protector. He's going great guns as Lucien. He's doing incredibly well.